I mean, I think a man was like Aubrey Waugh, who's a famous comic writer, founded the Literary Review, I think. He actually suggested back in the 70s there should be wages for housework. But this is a very old trope, and it never takes off because when push comes to shove, the citadels of power, it's not in their interests to equalise societies.
Well, so long as we go along with this, it's been interesting sort of in history. So in Iceland, there was a women's strike in the 1970s where women just went completely on strike. And that changed the political landscape pretty much overnight. So there are things we can do. We've got precedents in history, but it's just starting the conversation and just finally making it, because of course it's really easy to just keep saying to women, oh, later, or oh, be quiet, or sort of do your
best.
Or
you're whinging and nagging.
Exactly.
The problem is, if we ask for help, then we're told we're nagging. So you don't ask for help, so the status quo has continued down the generations. And I think a huge amount of resentment built up during lockdown. I think your book's really important for women to read who have felt this pent-up resentment that the domestic and emotional labour has fallen on their shoulders. And yes, it is a call to arms almost.
But it's also about finding the right time to start the conversation, and I tried to make so the book doesn't sound whingy or naggy, and I hope it gives women a new language to be able to talk about these things that will finally get the attention that it needs. Like, if you strike the right tone, and you need to present it as a joyful thing, just kind of like, the world would be better if we put more money in women's pockets and stuff they're doing unpaid at the moment, because whenever you talk about sort of like state payments for these things, there's a presumption that like it disappears, but of course it goes straight back into the economy. Women spend it on things like shoes and food and rent, and that goes straight back in the economy. So it doesn't disappear; it grows your economy, and it gives women more security and confidence. I mean, they can start their own jobs if they have, or their own businesses if they have money in their pocket, in a way that they just don't have the option to at the moment. So yeah, it's a benefit to all of us.
It's quite that we actually have that benefit now. Maybe what the government should do, I mean, Rishi Sunak would be good at this, is to vastly inflate child benefit, because I regarded that as the shoe budget. It went some way towards one pair of shoes per child, but that was it. And if you think that some mothers, actually, that's the only money that goes into their pocket during the month, because, do you remember?
Yes.
It is paid to the mother.
Totally, which is absolutely
so
key.
There is also,
that was based on child benefits. That's what we were brought up on, was disability benefits. My dad and child benefits. That was what kept us going. But it's not kept pace with inflation. It's an almost useless sum now. It's you can do very little with the amount of child benefit you get paid now.
Caitlin Moran's new book, More Than a Woman, is out now, and you can watch my entire interview with her in vision on both sides on the LBC website. But now back to your calls, which are flooding in on the COVID clampdown and the rule of six, and has it gone too far? Ellis, you're on the line. Good evening.
Hi, Rachel.
Good evening.
I feel completely conflicted and very unsure about the whole rule of six thing, because I'm a teacher in a secondary school, and I don't think that the rules are consistent in any way, and I find that very hard to deal with and scary and confusing, and as if maybe I don't matter because I'm a teacher.
I understand. So you think if you can teach a class of 30, why can a family only see 5 other people?
Exactly. And it's as soon as I walk out of the school gate, I'm not allowed to spend time with any of those people that I was in school with. And I see up to 150 children, different children in a day, and that's not even considering the different children that I walk past.
I'm going to go online and have a look at the diagram that Sage has just put out today of what the settings that are most dangerous, and schools are quite low in that setting, and the thing that they've established is that homes are reasonably risky because people don't socially distance in homes, and obviously you can't make homes COVID secure as you can a school. Also, the reason they've imposed the rule of six in homes is it's very easy to track and trace people who are in a unit or a household. Schools have spent hundreds of thousands of pounds making premises, COVID safe. So do you still feel very, very scared?
I do. I feel scared because, not because of the school, we've made all of the right, moves and everything else, but how can on one hand someone schools are safe places, but then say that I can't meet in a pub, which is also a COVID secure place with more than 6 people that I work with on a day-to-day basis.
Look, Ellis, you are genuinely asking the wrong person this, because I am as confused and annoyed as you are. I just am not scared, and I understand that my attitude to all of these rules comes from a place of not being particularly frightened, even though I know how dangerous a virus it is, and also, even young people are suffering long after effects. We've got long COVID as well, so maybe I'm being completely irrational in my response. But anyway, thank you, Alice. More of your calls to come, but right now it's 6:46 and time for the news headlines with Thomas Watts.
Public health officials have warned there are now worrying signs of coronavirus infection among the elderly. People in North and South Lanarkshire won't be allowed visitors from midnight tonight. Similar rules will come into force in Birmingham from Tuesday. A police officer is being treated for severe burns after he was attacked in Newquay and Cornwall. Staying wet and windy for northern parts of the UK this evening, largely clear and mild further south, a low of 9 Celsius.
We see travel line, Dave. Got the queues on the M25 clockwise. There's a lane closed because a car has broken down between junction 25 for Enfield and junction 26 for Waltham Abbey. It's also slow on the M25 clockwise going through the roadworks between junction 22 for St Albans and junction 23 for the A1M. It's very slow on the M3 going north